Welcome back to the Deshan clan. I am Cookie, and my husband's name is Patrick, and we have a little son named Jackson. I really do appreciate you coming and hanging out with me for a little while. Today we're in the garden again. We are working on progress today. Progress, not perfection, is what I hear everyone saying, and it's totally true. Let's just get something done. So what we did in a collective of a few days is that we got these cinder blocks laid where we wanted them. Did it take a long time? Absolutely. Let me remind you with what we've already done to this land. We went ahead and scraped it. We tilled it. We put weed mat or a landscaping fabric, if you will, down where we didn't want any weeds growing. And then we put this 1.25-inch rock around where the path would go around the garden and also where the weed mat is. So this way we can access points from all four corners of the garden from a rock path. So that's been very helpful in not stepping on the garden if we don't want to. And I really don't want people walking through the garden. So that's why we made sure that there was a rock path from any angle. So this way people had no choice but to walk around the garden instead of through it. So, but after the rocks or the cinder blocks, and it took us like 4 hours, maybe 5 hours accumulative from this evening to the next day, from other few different days. You'll see all in this video that we finish it. And I am just so happy that it's gotten as far as it has. Since we have a good amount of time together today, I wanted to focus some time on you. I want to know more about you. What interests you? Clearly, one of our interests is, working together, being outside, hands in the dirt. I love gardening. I love eating fresh garden food. I love being able to provide that to people that are in my life as well. So, obviously, this is a huge hobby of mine, but I'm curious, what's your hobby? Speaking of hobbies, one of our hobbies is traveling. And so I just came back from a girls' weekend with my good girlfriend, Hope. She is actually my son's godmother. So we went and snuck out over to Clearwater, Florida, and we had a blast. I do have some footage of that, so hopefully I'll be able to put together a video of the pictures and video that I had gotten from when we went to Clearwater, so I can share that with you. But tell me about your travel plans. Do you have any summer adventures planned out? There's a travel adventure that we have coming up in August. All I'm allowed to tell you so far is that we're going to Philadelphia. I don't want to fill in too many details because part of it is a surprise. So I do want to keep that a surprise. But we're going to go to Philadelphia for a long weekend, a Friday to Sunday kind of situation, and we're going to have a blast. We're going to do some museums, things like that. But the big surprise, I can't really tell yet. But I would definitely divulge when it's appropriate. But tell me more about your summer plans, your traveling that you want to do or that you have upcoming. I'd love to hear about it. long this project took. I had no idea what I was signing up for when I looked at this plan that I found off of Pinterest. Pinterest got me this time. I don't know about you, but it gets me every once in a while. And so I saw someone else posted a picture of, different kinds of raised beds or whatever. And, excuse me, there was one picture that had the cinder blocks outlined around the garden. And I thought, oh my God, that's perfect. I can put my annuals in the little holes to increase bee pollination and all the good stuff for the fruits and vegetables inside the actual garden. So we actually just met with the fencing people. A few different companies came out, and we're going to do a fence. It's going to, if you're looking at the camera right now, it's from the right-hand side, right behind the vertical planter. That's where the end of the garden is going to be, to the corner of the house. And so the fence is going to hopefully keep the deer out. If somebody, meaning an animal, gets up the stairs or up the rock wall, help yourself. But I don't see any animal other than the little critters being able to get up and venture into the garden. And last year we actually even captured a picture of a couple of deer just chomping away at the tomatoes and peppers that were coming through. So this year we wanted to make sure that we are doing this correctly. We're making wise decisions of, okay, let's put the deer fence in to protect our investment. And so I'm really pleased with how things are going, but I really didn't realize how much effort was going to, the project was taking. So, you live and you learn.
Higher than a
So I want to give a shout out to Grandma. She did help us this day immensely. I totally forgot until I was watching back the footage and saw her in there when she was leaving. She had just put Jackson down for his nap so we could continue working. So we were able to take a few hours without being parents and just being, construction workers. So we're just putting, we have a string attached to two of the cinders, and we're just making sure that we get it as straight as possible, the way where we want it. I didn't realize how much footage I had gotten for this part of the project, so we're going to have to end it here today. But I will put all the rest of the footage in the next video after that for next Wednesday. So I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. If you want to leave a comment, please do subscribe, put the notifications on, things like that. But have a blessed day.